I'm Billy Swallow. I'm a faculty member at the University of Washington. I'm a faculty member in biology, so I'm a full professor in biology, and I'm also, I work at Friday Harbor Labs. So I spend a lot of time at Friday Harbor Labs. As you know, I was director there for 7 years, and I work on marine animals, so it's a natural home for me. It's just something that my whole career I've been interested in women in science and also underrepresented groups in science, and getting more participation and also getting that leadership. And so those are still passions of mine that I'm going for. Unfortunately, I mean, one of the things that was my passion at a Marine Lab is to make that opportunity available to everyone. Because unfortunately, many can't afford to go to Marine Lab. So, you know, I did a lot of fundraising to make sure that it could be available to everyone, because I'll never forget how thankful I was with that first scholarship I got to go to MBL for a summer and take embryology. You know, I couldn't have done it without it. There's a book that's called Lifting a Ton of Feathers, and it's about women in academics. And it's like all of those things are a feather, but when you get a ton of them, you're lifting a ton of them, right? So it's just those little things. Sometimes people call them microaggressions now. You know, it's just like death by 1,000 cuts, right? It's just, and like I said, most of it I'm just able to ignore, but because I'm so aware of these different things, I see them all the time. I'm really excited about my work about origin of chordates. So as hemichordates and the chordate body plan. And I would say the other thing are the tailed and tailless ascidians. I've gotten those sequenced and we have transcriptomes. And I tell people that it's really not a joke. I'm like, it's going to take me the rest of my life. Like both the men and women coming out of my lab would be very, you know, really know a lot about gender issues. And it's interesting that I didn't include that diversity. And so I'm going to just start incorporating that where like once a quarter we read, and I've been doing this stuff with Black Folks Matters and trying to increase inclusiveness in our department anyway. And of course I thought about it a lot at Marine Labs. And so I was just like, oh, I could do some of these things really easy. The other things I do, which is invite women and people of color for seminars. Another thing is suggest them as reviewers or write grants with them. And I haven't done a lot of that, but I started thinking about, geez, I should try to figure out how I could do some of that. For me, like the talking about it is a really important thing because I feel like these issues are so difficult and it's so hard to have a really good discussion that you have to like not only know the language, but you have to get used to that feeling of like, oh my God, do I do that? You know, kind of thing, and be willing to be open and learn and not feel like someone's going to say, oh, you said this and you didn't say it quite right, or, you know, something like that. Like the thing is that there's been equal amounts of female and male graduate students since 1970. So you look at that, that's 50 years now. And so I tell people like, no, it's not pipeline. 50 years we've had equal numbers of graduate students. Why are those people not getting up through? And again, it's bias. But then I also think about increasing diversity as people, like, but then I start thinking like, do. And I'm like, oh no, I've supported quite a few people and we're getting there, I think. And so, you know, you just have to keep working at it.